The White Bear Area Chamber of Commerce and On Location TV19 are proud to present Your Business Matters, dedicated to your business needs. The White Bear Area Chamber is a nonprofit business organization serving as an advocate for the White Bear area and its business community. Now, here is the Executive Director of the White Bear Area Chamber and the host of Your Business Matters, Tom Snell.
I want to welcome you to Your Business Matters, brought to you by the White Bear Area Chamber of Commerce. We hope you like the new look on our set as we start our new year, 2017. Each month, we interview community leaders and local business owners so you can be informed about the developments in our community. This month, I'm pleased to welcome Ken Galloway, the current chairman of the White Bear Lake Rotary. We will discuss many of the great things the Rotary does for our community, along with the upcoming trailblazing Rotary winter event called Your Business Matters. Ken, thank you so much for joining me today on Your Business Matters. And I want to first start out with some just really basic questions. What is the Rotary?
Well, Tom, I think as most people know, the Rotary is a worldwide service organization.
Worldwide?
Worldwide, Rotary International.
Okay.
And, of course, White Bear Lake Area Rotary Club is the White Bear chapter of Rotary International.
So when you say that the Rotary is worldwide, do you have any idea about how many countries that might encompass?
I don't know the exact number, but it's just about most countries around the world.
Oh, wow. So like Russia has a Rotary, and China has a Rotary, and Mexico, and...
They have tens and hundreds in each of those countries, right.
Now, I've heard that one of the main things that Rotary has done, internationally anyway, is they've worked on the issue of polio.
That's correct. Rotary, as I didn't mention, is a service organization of volunteers. Rotary took the initiative about 30 years ago with the World Health Organization to try to eradicate polio from the face of the earth. And, unbelievably, we're down to, I think, just one country left has been finding cases. Afghanistan and possibly Pakistan, right? So maybe two, right?
Okay. And so you folks have practically eradicated polio.
That's correct, and most of the funding from that comes through our International Rotary Foundation.
The foundation. Particularly, and you could talk either about the Worldwide Foundation or the one in White Bear. But my understanding is that the money that goes into the White Bear Rotary is almost 100% goes directly to the service. Is that right?
That's correct. Our White Bear Lake Rotary Foundation, so if you contribute to that, or if you come to one of our fundraisers, that funds all of our community activities, right? That does not go to the international. That's actually from contributions from Rotary members themselves. Do you have to be a Rotary member to contribute? You do not. It's a 501c3, so anybody can contribute. Anybody can contribute to the Rotary Foundation. Correct. The local one. Correct. Or international. Now, what are some of the projects that the local Rotary Club Foundation has been involved in? Well, as I said, that funds pretty much our entire budget for all of our community service activities. So you got your Taste of White Bear Lake, which is our major fundraiser, which is held at Pine Tree Apple Orchard every fall. Sells out every year. Great event. The annual Barely Open Golf on Ice Tournament. And we'll talk a little bit about that as we move on with the interview. If you've ever seen the Dinner with Santa or the senior picnics that we do over at White Bear Country Inn, those are funded by our Rotary Foundation. Our Strive races that raise money for scholarships at Century College. On and on and on. Just anytime you see the Rotary sign hanging around town and there's some cool event going on, beach dance at Manitou Days. Those are all Rotary Foundation events. Let's look at two of the big ones that you do, the Taste of White Bear and then the upcoming Barely Open. And again, we'll go into the Barely Open in a minute. But they raise a substantial amount of money each year, both of those events. They do. Again, the Taste of White Bear is a major fundraiser for our Rotary Club Foundation, which funds all of our activities. The Barely Open is a major fundraiser for the White Bear Area Food Shelf. Okay, that's what I wanted to get into. You just mentioned
a major fundraiser for the White Bear Area Food Shelf. So that would be one of the entities that the Rotary gives financial assistance to. You also mentioned scholarships for students that go to Century College.
Right.
Are there any other local community service projects that you can think of offhand that the White Bear Rotary has contributed to?
Sure. We, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, YMCA, again, the food shelf, most of these kind of organizations, academic achievers. Our reach is, very broad, right?
Do you have any idea, if you go back in time, how much money actually has the White Bear Rotary raised for various community projects?
Well, I couldn't add it up for you,
right,
but
yeah.
we budget about $40,000 every year. Right,
oh, okay.
For just local community projects.
So in the past 10 years, you've raised about $400,000 for local projects.
Yeah, that'd be close.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible.
It is.
Okay. Now, getting back, there is an event coming up, and I believe it's coming up in fairly short order. Is that correct?
The Bear Lake Open?
Yes.
Yes, it is. The annual Bear Lake Open Golf on Ice.
Okay.
And it's actually a 2-day event, February 3rd and 4th this year.
2 days.
2 days.
Okay. So, and during these 2 days, what do people get to do?
Well, on Friday night, we have a community dance. And so that is held at the White Bear Country Inn. And the Wildcat Combo is the band that we've had for several years now.
Okay.
They're very, very generous with their time. They're a good local classic rock and roll band, White Bear residents. And it's been a lot of fun. So that actually adds quite a bit to the amount of money we do raise for the entire event.
Oh, okay. All right. And then it's the Bear Lake Open is like a golf tournament, right?
It is golf on ice on Saturday.
Yeah.
And anybody that's been there realizes what a great time it is. We actually have with help of the city, we actually plow out a golf course on the ice.
All right.
We have tents and we have sponsors. And,
oh, wow, okay.
And a big hospitality tent for people to get warm in.
Good.
And people come out, we give everybody their own tennis ball. We actually have holes drilled into the ice.
I think the big question is, do you sell mulligans?
We don't, but everybody seems to take them. So,
oh, okay, all right.
The scorekeeping's pretty loose.
Okay, all right. Okay,
so people are out there just to have a good time. It's a great community gathering activity, as well as a fundraiser for the food shelf, as I mentioned.
And then how can somebody participate in that event?
You can participate by being a sponsor, a whole sponsor, or an event sponsor, although to this point we've already sold out for the most part on all our sponsorships.
So you got golfers, though. A person can golf, right?
Right. The other way you can help out is becoming and being a golfer. Okay. So most people will register online, but we also have registration forms if you'd like to mail it in, and you can get a form online.
Okay.
BearLakeOpen.org.
And we'll talk a little bit more about that shortly, but that sounds really interesting. So
it's a fun time.
Yep. Okay. We'll take a brief break now, and I have a couple of quick announcements about future chamber happenings. The White Bear Area Chamber of Commerce will host a special event concerning business issues related to the American Disabilities Act at the White Bear Lake City Hall on January 26th, 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. Visit the White Bear Chamber website at www.whitebearchamber.com for further information about this program and other exciting chamber events. With me is Ken Galloway, the current chair of the Rotary Club and general manager of the White Bear Yacht Club. Thank you so much, and we'll continue our interview now. Right. We talked a little bit about the Barely Open, and approximately how much money does that event raise then each year for local community activities?
Well, the amount varies, Tom,
okay.
As you know, but we've been raising, on average, the last several years, $18,000–$19,000.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, right. And what makes that really cool, of course, is the purchasing power that the food shelves have.
Oh, okay. What do you mean by that?
Well, for every dollar raised, they can actually buy $8 worth of food, as opposed to you or I going to the grocery store and buying food and bringing it to the food shop.
Oh, okay.
And as a result of that, by the amount of cash we've raised over the last 10 years, at the end of this year's event, the food shelf will have been able to purchase over $1 million worth of food for those in need, our neighbors in need.
So the food shelf gets the opportunity to purchase the food, and people have an opportunity to have a good time. And my understanding, too, is this entire event is done totally by volunteers. Is that correct?
Like every other Rotary event, right. It's all volunteers. It's not just Rotary volunteers.
Yeah.
White Bear Events volunteers are also heavily involved in the planning of the event.
Okay.
But it's a strictly volunteer-run organization, right? There's no money paid to anybody other than the costs of setting up the event. So.
Okay, well that's great. You also mentioned another big event that Rotary does each year, and that is the Big Taste of White Bear program that happens in September at the Pine Tree Apple Orchard. Tell me a little bit about that.
Okay, well, the Taste of White Bear was the brainchild of then-President Gene Altstadt about 6 years ago.
And he's a financial planner out of Matamidi, right?
Right, Matamidi, and he has office in Minneapolis as well, right? And he's a member of our Rotary Club. Okay. And anyway, so that was Gene's vision, and we started this event, and that is our major fundraiser. So that funds all of the Rotary local.
So this one guy has this idea, hey, let's do this, and it becomes boom, your major fundraiser.
Yeah, and we modeled it after other taste events.
Oh, okay.
And it was just a different, we needed to shake up and do a different type of fundraiser than we'd been doing over the years.
Yeah.
And it's a great event. It's just exploded. We've been blessed with great weather every year we've done it. The Jacobsons at Pine Tree, of course, were just so generous in allowing us to use their area as the venue. And, so we have about 20 to 22 local restaurants.
Oh, okay.
And then we'll have 10 or 12 local beverage vendors.
That would be for alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages?
Mostly wine and beer tasting. And some non-alcoholic items, ciders and root beers. And then, like I said, about 20, 22 of the local restaurants will come out, and everybody has their own tent.
Oh, okay.
And they all prepare some of their signature fare, typically, and the guests pay one fee to get in. And then everything is free once you're in. And you go around and you try all the different food samples and beverage samples, and everybody just has an awesome afternoon.
So I imagine then you get a lot of people that come to this. Approximately how many people show up, or how many tickets do you sell for the event in September?
We limit the event, again, because we want it to be a quality event. So we limit ticket sales to between 550 and 600.
Okay.
And we've sold out every year.
Wow. I wanted to bring that up because you mentioned that you bring restaurants out to have tables or to have a booth space. Sounds to me that that would be a great and unique opportunity for somebody to potentially promote their business locally in our area.
Absolutely, Tom. I'm surprised we don't have 100 restaurants lining up, to be honest, and that's what we tell them when we ask them to join us as partners, is, listen, this is a great opportunity for your local restaurant. There's a lot of competition in the area. Print some flyers, discount coupons, and get the guests back in your space. A good deal of the restaurants are great at it. And I think they get a lot of return on their investment.
I would believe they would.
Right,
Yep. Now, I know September is a long ways away. Sometimes in days like this, I wish it was September, but it's still a long ways away. Now, when do you start promoting the booth sales for the event in September?
Typically, we get going about May.
Okay.
So we'll start reaching out to members of the community, the local restaurants, and start.
Probably wouldn't be a bad idea. So we're talking about September. What part of September is this event again?
We've tried to stay on the second Saturday or
Okay.
the first Saturday after Labor Day.
Okay, the first Saturday after Labor Day. So, might be a good idea if you've got a restaurant or somebody that sells beverages to start taking a look at this grand event that takes place in September that brings out 600 people.
Would absolutely be a great idea.
Now, I know that I'm not asking you to come up with a financial figure, but based on past experience, what has the Rotary charged for a restaurant or someone that wants to promote their beverages at this event?
Actually, we don't charge the vendors anything.
Are you kidding?
Nope, honest to God. In fact, we pay for the tent, we pay for the chairs, we pay for everything. We pay for their food licenses. All they have to do is show up. The only thing they're asked to contribute is whatever they want the guests to sample.
I mean, that seems to be the best. Isn't a kept secret.
Best
but
advertising,
it's the best
bang for your buck.
I
that
mean,
you're
I
ever
think
gonna
it's the
find,
best
right?
bang for your buck that anybody in the hospitality industry has in the entire area.
That's the way we feel.
Yeah, and by doing this, you're also helping some service needs in our community.
Right, and I think that's what people need to understand. So for a minimal investment, local restaurants can get great advertising and great goodwill and promote their restaurant to whatever extent they want to. But more importantly, they're funding all the fantastic service projects that our Rotary Club
So
has.
everybody wins.
Right, everybody wins.
Wow.
And everybody
That
has a
just
great
sounds-
time.
That sounds like just a really, really intriguing and wonderful event.
It's fabulous.
So, and again, if somebody is interested in taking a look at that and considering a booth at this event, how do they go about finding out about it?
The best way is just go to the website, tasteofwhitebearlake.com.
Okay.
And they can always contact one of us at the Rotary Club.
Or the chamber.
Or the chamber.
Yep.
Easy to find out.
Yeah.
And we do reach out to all the local restaurants come spring as well. So
Are the restaurants limited just to White Bear Lake, or do you expand the parameters a little bit on the people that can participate?
Well, we start with White Bear Lake,
Right.
White Bear Township, Matamidi.
Okay.
And then we expand out from
So
there.
it'd be basically the communities that Rotary serves that you're looking at.
Yeah,
then.
for the most part. We
Yep.
get a few from Vadnais,
Okay.
a couple from Stillwater area. For the
Great.
most part, it's pretty centrally located.
Yeah. Well, I have a lot more that I'd like to go over with you about the fabulous things that the White Bear Rotary does, but we're about out of time now. So what I want to ask you, final question, Ken, is first of all, if somebody is interested in the Rotary, if they want to come and they want to take a look at it, how do they go about doing that?
Well, thanks for asking that, Tom. Two ways, really. They can go to our website and get information, whitebearlakerotary.org.
Sure.
Google White Bear Lake Rotary. But we always welcome anybody to come join us for breakfast.
Free breakfast.
As our guest. Free breakfast, 7:30 a.m., Rudy's Red Eye Grill in White Bear Lake.
Okay.
Any Wednesday, and just show up and tell us you're a guest, and we'll hook you up with one of our officers, and they'll give you a little.
And they get a 45-second commercial, right?
They get to take 47 seconds
47,
to tell us
okay.
about themselves.
All
That is
right.
correct.
Why 47?
There's a history to that, but I don't know what it is. So.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you so much, Ken, for joining us today on Your Business Matters. I'm Tom Snell. Thank you for watching Your Business Matters.
You've been watching Your Business Matters. For more information on this program or the White Bear Area Chamber, visit whitebearchamber.com or call 651-429-8593.